another edition of Marky, a bit like Parky. Michael's been a guest on the show before. You may have heard or seen one or two of his stories. He's promised more. He's promised a surprise, and we're going to do this slightly differently today. We're going to have a kind of 10, 12, 15-minute conversation, and then Michael has brought a special toy for us to go outside and have a look at. So, without further ado, everybody, welcome to the studio, Mr. Michael Hill.
Don't worry, he's trained. Unlike Emu. Unlike Emu, he's trained.
Take a seat over here, young man.
Hello, Rod.
Yes.
Rod Hill, is it?
No. I wouldn't do that to you,
wouldn't
Mark.
do that. Well, you can try, and you'd probably succeed. Anyway, welcome, Michael. Thanks very much. We'll start the show with the normal moniker that we have every time we see you. It's Phone Hill for a better...
Phone bill.
Phone bill, OK. We'll get on to work, maybe, in a little while. We don't. Let's go back to the beginning a little bit. We'll kind of get through this. Where's Mike from? How did he grow up? Where did he grow up?
Born and bred Chadwell Heath.
Yep.
Romford. It was Essex, although it's Redbridge, London, but that's where it all started from. Emigrated to Brentwood.
Yep.
And then moved again to Billericay.
Did you have any control in those moves, or were you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Yes.
No, you weren't. You weren't dragged there by parents or
No.
circumstance.
No.
Do you have a favourite?
First place was in born and bred, so Chadwell Heath. Decided to move out. Got a little flat, Chadwell Heath. And then the big move was to Brentwood, proper Essex.
Yeah. The only way is.
Yeah. And then it was another little move to Billericay, where we've been for 25 years now.
All right. Are you just headed east relentlessly? I mean, are we talking?
No, we've
Wickford
got
in a few years' time.
No, we've got Grandkids, which are based in Southend. So I should imagine when it's the downsize period.
Okay. When you've spoken to Richard about all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, we'll be heading.
So in terms of career, okay, were these moves related to work changes, or they were just personal?
The changes were. We had to have an extra bedroom, so that's why we had to move from a 3-bed to a 4-bed.
Family,
Yes.
The growth thereof.
Yes.
So how many kids do you have, Mike?
3.
3, and grandchildren?
2.
2. Okay.
Don't look old enough, do I?
No.
Yes. You're a child groom. Weren't you?
Are you expecting more? Do you enjoy the grandfathery bit?
Do actually?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel used?
No. At the moment, because I'm very much full-time working, obviously Nana does all the heavy lifting.
Okay.
And does that stuff.
And you could just go out and have fun with the...
But the middle one got married last year, Cameron.
Yeah.
To a lovely girl, and so if there's pitter-patter of tiny feet there...
You won't be surprised.
No.
You won't be surprised. So...
Real world.
That's deliberate. That's deliberate.
Exactly. He's a very, very busy man, ladies and gentlemen. We'll edit that bit out, I think.
Please.
What else do you expect from someone who does phone?
Unless it's your good lady, in which case, I mean, some of the most famous moves on YouTube are about people doing press conferences and getting a phone call from mum,
funny
aren't
enough,
they?
it's a friend who I've known for 40 years through sales. So, and it was his birthday yesterday, and I do try and keep in touch with people. So, there's the
thing. Anyway, so you just mentioned sales there.
Yeah.
Would you describe yourself as a salesman, inveterate salesman, natural salesman?
That's for the customers to say, but I don't like doing the pressure selling. That's why I don't do energy, because energy, the marketplace dictates you need to give an answer quickly and promptly to lock that price in. And I'm not a copier style salesman where I need that done. I was talking to Lorraine earlier, and it was I don't do KPIs. I don't have sales targets. I haven't had a sales target for 30 years, and I don't intend to adopt one. I'd much rather fit in with other people's, if they're moving in 6 months' time, great, let's give ourselves a 2 month.
So describe a typical, well, I know it's probably the impossible question. There is no such thing as typical.
No, there isn't.
Just give an example of how you've helped a customer recently. Because you spoke a year or so ago about the change from analogue to digital.
Yes, and that is happening, and by the end of, January next year will be the official time when it will end.
Is that something that everyone should really be aware of?
Yes, it is. It's even made it to BBC Breakfast News.
Well, is it true then?
Yes. They've delayed it a number of times, so it's got to be.
It's got to be.
Lack of thought that's gone on with the system has been atrocious, in all honesty. They didn't realise that elderly people with their buttons wouldn't work on the new VoIP system. They didn't realise that if you're going to get into a metal cage called a lift or elevator, that won't work, and they've had to rethink on all those things and more to get round the issue.
So VoIP? What is
Voice over Internet Protocol.
Voice over Internet.
They like to call them cloud phones because perhaps people relate to that better, because if everybody does a diagram, they always do a cloud and then point things into it because it's an exchange and nobody ever really knows what that exchange is. I've been lucky enough to go to a couple of exchanges.
Right. So going back, I don't know how many years do we have to go back from kind of the old Nokia 3610s into what we now know as smartphones. What was that transition like?
Well, I didn't really do mobiles. If we go back to that era, I was in a division of that sold telephone systems. So we're talking about Panasonic, Samsungs, NECs and things like that. So, and the other side of the room were doing the mobiles, but they were car phones. They had a big garage.
Hence car phone warehouse, I suppose.
Yeah, something of that ilk. And yes, we had engineers stripping out BMWs and the like to fit in the car phones.
Oh, okay. So who's the owner of car phone? Was it Jim? So Jim, somebody anyway.
Yeah.
So what about Blackberries? Were they a thing in your life? Because I've know people who love their Blackberry, lived on their Blackberry. And that was a major advance from what had gone before.
Yeah, it was in its day. The biggest mistake Nokia made was not getting into Samsung and buying them quick enough because they had the time and the money to do it. I've got, funny enough, an autograph that my friend bid for me at one of these corporate bashes in London, and it was the corporate who was hosting it was a company called Blockbuster, if you can remember that far back, and they had bucket loads of money. They could have bought Netflix without even noticing it was missing from their bank account. So, you know, people do make these. That's
a salutary lesson, isn't it? Blockbuster not moving into that element and not seeing the future.
Even if they didn't think it was going to work, it would have been worth their while wasting their money on it because it was in such an embryonic state at the time. And these days with VoIP phones, cloud phones, yes, there's people that have got rid of the bit of plastic on their desk, and there's people that are wanting it back because, yes, your computer screen can also be your telephone, and yes, I know people have two lovely big screens at round, but they still actually perhaps do not really want the telephony bit on there, so it goes back to that. That can be twinned with their mobile phone, so when a call goes through, it can be twinned with their extension.
So in your experience, would you say that people underuse the available technology because they're frightened of maybe...
You asked me about something a little while ago. I did an install in Brentwood, which is in Dorset, and I mentioned to him, because he wanted some additional training, I said, you're only using perhaps 5-8% of what this phone system can do. I said, but the problem is, or the situation is, everybody perhaps uses the first 3%, and everybody has their own version of what they want for the remaining 5%, so it's tailored to what they want it to do, rather than, here you are, like it or lump it.
So do you think that the people who've developed these phones have really over-engineered everything?
While you're burning one thing on a chip, you can burn in half a dozen others.
Oh, okay.
You know, luxury items, which was reserved for just big PLCs, such as voice recording. We can offer 90-day voice recording as standard. If you're in an insurance business or something like that, you need to retain that for 7 years. We can do that as well, but that's obviously a chargeable.
Yeah.
But the flexibility is there, and the old thing of auto attendance was a privilege for big companies. Now, I actually have a client who's one phone, and he has an auto attendant.
What's that? What's an auto?
Welcome to Mark Sexton. Press 1 for sales, 2 for accounts, 3 for networking.
You'll get me anyway.
And but it's just working off of one phone, and that diverts, funny enough, to his mobile. So I've got that extreme, and then I've got a 120-seater, which is literally scattered throughout the UK, mainly in Kent and Manchester, but now all around the UK. And a lot of those, funny enough, are phoneless, because it's a call centre type thing, so it's all headset.
Yeah. I think scratching and looking behind the curtain, almost like any business, I do some health and safety stuff, and yesterday I had 2 visits, and it was amazing and fascinating to walk into an engineering company and see what actually goes into producing goods and services that we all take for granted. Anyway, we've done a little bit about business and your journey and your expertise and experience. I know you do lots of things motor related for fun, and we're going to go outside and have a look at your hobby car in a moment.
Indeed.
Tell us a little bit about your journey in cars.
Well, that all happened by mistake. My friend has also got a Volvo P1800, and when I used to go and see him down in Bournemouth, one of the first things I would do, sometimes even before I unpacked, was ask him if he could open his garage door so I could look at his car, because I absolutely
gaze
loved it.
longingly.
Yes. And on the way back, my wife said, "Would you do something for me?" And I thought, "Oh, I wonder what this is going to be. You know, does she need this? Does she need that?" And I was promptly told that she was sick to death of me drooling over James' car, and would I please get one for myself? So
that's the sort of permission that people don't often get,
no,
Mr. Hill.
So I seized upon it and stumbled across the car we've got out there.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a bit like school days, a bit of show and tell, so that's why I brought it out today. But
does it sit inside the garage when it's wet?
Yes.
Yeah, so today we got lucky today. It's a lovely sunny day.
It has been in the rain, obviously, but I wouldn't take it out, and I try and use it every 10 days.
Right.
I don't like square wheels. If you've got an old car and it just parks in the garage, you get square wheels and it feels lumpy and horrible. So best to send it for a little spin.
So is this a kind of mic thing you take yourself off, or do you use it to take your good lady to special dinners and events and whatever?
Tea rooms, pubs, you name it. But I belong to a motion picture group as well.
Oh, tell us more about that. That sounds
we're
really
off
exciting.
to Brooklands on Saturday as part of the Mustang Owners Club, because if you remember the film Bullet, we have got a Bullet car with a Charger, so they're the stars on that. So, and we've got Knight Rider, we've got Starsky and Hutch, we've got a whole selection of Mr. Bean's Mini, a 2CV.
Surely a Trotter's van as well.
Yeah, we got the Trotter's van, but we've got a whole plethora of, we've got about 30 odd cars which are sort of film related in some way, shape or form, or TV.
So has this one appeared in a film yet, or is it available for hire?
This one has done a thing for a company into classic cars. It has been on Top Gear though, which for the amount of filming they did round it, I would say it was on the screen for less than 2 minutes. But
less than 2 minutes? I thought you were going to say seconds there for a moment. I think 2 minutes, that's pretty valuable footage.
But that was up in Leeds, at Leeds Airport. But yes, they sort of put us in a hotel, major security guards in the hangar. Which one of the celebrities got to drive that one? Thankfully, they didn't want to. And I say that because...
What are you saying about Richard Hammond?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the Richard Hammond era. It was... I got autographs from Paddy McGuinness, Freddie Flintoff and Chris Harris.
Oh, okay.
And it was really interesting to meet those guys, actually, because I had a perceived perception of one of the guys in particular. And afterwards I had to totally rewrite my book on him, because he was a much, much nicer guy than I ever thought of.
We'll let the audience decide which one of those three people
they can challenge me later.
They can challenge you later. Plans for the future. In the last couple of minutes before we go outside and see the Volvo. Plans for the future, Mike? More ambitions? More cars? Has your wife given you permission to spend more money?
No, there are rules now. I'm only allowed one classic car.
So you'd have to bin this one off.
Yes, and that wouldn't happen.
And that's not happening.
Because growing up, there were 2 cars. One was the Goldfinger Aston Martin James Bond.
Yeah.
I have to announce I can't afford an Aston Martin. But I was lucky enough, right time, right place, to get that car where I'm the 3rd owner. And that is sort of, when I got it, it was sort of Fiat Panda money.
Okay.
It has gone up in since.
So, I mean, are these investable things? So do people buy them as investments rather than for the love of the car?
Some people do, obviously. I haven't.
No.
But I often go, when at car shows, people always ask me how much is it? And I say, well, how much is a 1968 old car? And it's what somebody's prepared to pay. Because anybody in right mind wouldn't spend much on a 1968.
You've got a figure in your head?
I know what it's insured for. So that's
is that reasonable, you would say? Because this must be tough to replace. I mean, you wouldn't get...
It is. There's only 200 that
you
are
wouldn't get
running
new
in
for
the
old,
UK,
would you?
So I can't... If I wanted, you know, a right-hand drive one, that'd be there.
Are they more left-hand?
Well,
I
yeah,
presume
because...
It's a Volvo.
Yeah.
Exactly right. We've got time for one question before we go outside. Has anybody got one or two questions for Mike? Or are we going to leave it till we go outside?
With your Volvo, what's been your favourite journey or drive or somewhere, a route you've taken with that?
I've been on many, you know, we do, as a group, we go to the Cotswolds once every 2 years to Broughton-on-the-Water to help a charity out there to raise money, etc. So we do a lot of stuff as a group and things like that. But in when I first had the car, I must be honest, I didn't appreciate, I thought it was just me that loved the car, but it is bigger than that. And you know, I mentioned my route to Chadwell Heath. Well, once I went to pick my mum up when it was still quite new to me.
Yeah.
And there's a roundabout there by the police station. And as we were round the bend there was a guy at a bus stop, and unprompted, he just stood up and applauded as we walked past. And my mum said,
your mum must be so proud.
No, she said, what's wrong with him? And I said, Mum, I've found out it's the car.
It's nothing to do with
things.
me.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that was my early sort of introduction, saying, no, I've actually stumbled across something that's a bit odd and a bit special. Not just to me, but to other people.
Other people as well. And talking of odd and special, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.